Before you bitch niggas get mad at me, I get my hair done this fucking Monday. It's alright. Don't be in my comments being like, hey, bitch, get your hair done. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna get my hair done soon. Shut the fuck up. I love you though. Now, I wanted to say this. I kind of was talking to myself the other day and I was like, you know what? What do I want in a man? Because I like, how do I put this? I've been doing relatively good at the not dating people thing. The only person that actually has been trying to like show interest in me romantically, aside from like an ex of mine, is this new guy. He was the lead singer of a metal band, but he lives like a state away. It's obviously long distance, and obviously it's not going to be some sort of consistent thing. Also, I'm on my guard because, simply put, sexy Latino man who is like has long hair down his back, lead singer of a metal band, and also tons and tons and tons of Latina goth baddies on his comment section. Yeah, I'm not I'm not taking that seriously. And also, he said some shit that was obviously a red flag about himself, amongst many, many, many potential yellow flags. The best thing you can do is not give a fuck about him, and that's what I've been doing. I've just been like, I'm gonna give very minimal effort towards this guy who, like, it's like he's telling me stuff. We're semi talking about stuff. He's showering me with compliments, but he hasn't really asked me a question. Like, only last night did he actually ask me like an actual question interested in my life. But for the last week or so, has he shown genuine interest and connection? Not exactly. He's just around. I even was talking with my therapist the other day. Also, I got a therapist. Yippee-ki-yay. That's good news. And with my therapist, like, she was like, so, you said you've been trying to take a date from dating to be less male centered. How do you feel that's going? I said, there is one guy, but aside from telling you his first name, there's really. It's probably a good omen that there's nothing worth telling you about him past his name because I have that little faith staked in things with him. And she laughed at that. That's good, making a therapist laugh. And if you're like, how's therapy going, Tamia? I'll put it to you like this. It felt kind of like how the average Instagram story rant or YouTube channel rant vent, or how a conversation with ChatGPT could have gone, except I get the responses back from an old woman who, it's hard to say if she's more empathetic or less or about the same amount, but it's like, it's still a human connection and I'll take it. But anyway, to stay on topic, I've been thinking about what I truly want in a man, so that then if I actually am going to take someone a little bit more seriously, then the traits I want. I want someone who has muscles. I don't like twink niggas are cute, but they're not cute when you're getting like harassed in the street by a crackhead. I like the muscly niggas because a muscly nigga will drive you home, and then they'll see like a crackhead pissing outside of your apartment, full on dick out, scream singing at the top of his lungs. And while you're impressed at the ability for them to like multitask, you're still like, oh, this is not the guy. This is not someone I feel like I could walk past safely. But you know what? With a nigga who's tall, but tall is not mandatory, or a nigga with muscles, those are the ones where it's like, hey, those niggas are gonna back the fuck up. They're gonna stop screaming in the street and back up like 6 feet because they want to be like respectful. I remember I was chilling in the train stations with an ex of mine, and he was a buff, like masculine nigga, and he also was just as crazy as me. That's another thing I'm gonna require, because actually no, I'm probably crazier. It depends on the context. But I remember this crackhead was like acting like some sort of weird like Resident Evil Silent Hill creature, because he just fucking saunters down the stairs with his fucked up hair and ashy ass lips, and then he's doing some like weird glaring at us pattern movement shit, like full body little Kim movements type shit. And like it felt weird. It felt like we were being hunted by a predator, which we kind of were, because I guess this guy was debating on if he was gonna attack us or not. And I lean over to Morgan and I'm like, you have your knife on you, right? He's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, cool, I got it too. So we both had our switchblades ready in case that nigga wanted to try shit. But also, Morgan, obviously being bigger and like whatnot than me, he was obviously going to be the first one to throw a fucking punch. Um, I remember I dated this one dude. And this fucking crackhead spat in my fucking face and called me a slur. And what did that fucking twink do? Nothing. And then later on, he was like, "Oh, I feel kind of bad. Like I'm not a man because I didn't help you out." And at first, I was like, "No, sweetie, why would you feel bad? Like he's the one that, like, technically assaulted me." But then a bunch of my male friends came together and were like, "No, he should be ashamed." Because I know you believe in non binary shit or whatever to me, but still, at the end of the day, you're still someone who's perceived as a woman. and you're still dainty and fragile and shit. And like that's still a grown man with two hands who it doesn't matter how fuck because it's like nah, two of you could have both kicked his ass. Or at the very least, he should have been the one to be like, hey, back the fuck up off my girl. If he really loved you, he would have done that. And that made me look at the relationship and go, yeah, because then I remember it's like when the opposite happened, when my ex Patrick number two, when he was getting fucking harassed by this one chick on Bart, I remember I was like, oh, I will fuck this bitch up if need be, because how dare she talk to him like that, and why is she acting all schizophrenic as if she's gonna hit him? Fuck no, I got my switchblade on me and I'm willing to fight this bitch if it means he gets to be safe. Why? Because I care about people I date. And it is kind of fucked up that in a situation where he could have done anything, he did not. And it's like, yeah, I don't like pussy motherfuckers. I don't. That's another thing. I don't like men who are cowards and can't be there for me in dangerous times or important times. Like, I'll put it to you like this way. Like, let's say I'm looking good and feeling good in public, and then someone calls me a slur. Like, we're just in Safeway, and then some groups of some motherfuckers of a different race that are not black say some fucked up shit about me. Like, like hard R'ing it and type shit. Then guess what? Are you gonna be the guy who's gonna be like, oh, well, did you want to talk to them about it, Tamia? Like, why would I be the one to talk to them about it? Or are you gonna be the one that's like, oh, I'm gonna beat the shit out of one of these niggas because how dare they talk shit on my woman? Or at the very, yeah, it's like, or at the very fucking least, be there to like actually verbally affirm, like, fuck those motherfuckers, you're gorgeous, you're amazing in this way and that way. They're just hating. They can never have a bitch like you in their fucking lives. They're mad about it. That's why they're acting that way. Like, you gotta be like, ideally you'd be the violent one, but if you somehow are pacifistic enough, you gotta still stand up. Like, nah, because it's like people, yeah. Mm-hmm. I do kind of require it for a man to be a little bit fucked up in the head, but clearly they are if they're dating me. But it depends. There's like two sides to the coin. There's some people who are like relatively well-rounded individuals and stuff. They just don't have like much of a social life, or they just are like a little bit pathetic. And then, but they're like, oh, to me is so interesting and cool and cute, so I'm going to ignore all of her blaring red flags and be there to support and love her. And it's like, that's pretty nice for a bit until next thing you know you're claiming that the mental disabilities and conditions that I absolutely know I have, you're entirely writing them off. Like, that's not cool. And then meanwhile, yeah, I kind of like the people who are a bit nutty like me. I noticed I get along well with those types as long as it's within reason, you know. Like, I don't want my kids to just have a million fucking mental disorders and shit. Because, no offense, I already got pretty unlucky in that department. Because it's like, okay, I got some shit from my fucking dad's mother that just skipped his generation and went twice as hard on me. And then it's like, okay. And then I got autism from fucking one side. From my, I bet it was my dad, but some shit my mom said. It's like, I wouldn't be shocked if I got it from her either. Like, two double doses of autism straight to the brain. And then all the other shit, it's like, damn. Simply put, it's like, yeah, at a certain point I just kind of was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to date someone who's 100% healthy. It's like, you gotta have some sort of like sad traumatic backstory and we can get along great. And if you don't have that, okay, what mental issues do you have? Like, do you have a loving family, but do you have this disorder, that disorder, that disorder? Yeah, we could click well. And I know it's not the healthiest mindset to have a self-fulfilling prophecy of, oh, I'm only meant for people who are mentally disturbed. But how do I put this? Let's just say even the people I thought were super mentally healthy, who I like, what I want is someone who's healthy enough. Because when I was with that Riley guy, the guy I fought his ex, that was stupid. All of it was stupid. I thought he was so healthy for me. I remember I thought to myself, this is my first time dating someone who's actually mentally and emotionally healthy. And I want to try my best to make it work. And so I don't want to let them down by being some sort of like disappointing, like, how do I put this? When I'm with someone who's good for me and like has their shit together and has their life together, I usually get better in the process because they're making me have faith that I can be the same person I used to be or have potential to be. Organized, dedicated, focused, healthy, like a lot of things. But how did that work? It's like, okay, Riley was a fucking liar and also had some sort of fucked up self esteem issues and possible narcissistic tendencies, which I didn't see, but saw enough of. Also, like I said, someone who can defend me, like verbally or physically, that's what I need. Like, if I'm getting harassed in the street, are you walking on that side to make sure they don't get to me? Are you making it clear, like, this is my girl, don't fucking talk to her? Like, I noticed that recently I've been meeting more men, like, even the unhinged ones. Like, even though things didn't work out with them, I am more attracted to the ones that have, like, it's like they do some sort of, like, MMA or fighting or anything like that. And they have a history of actually fighting, not just for their girl, but in general. Some would see that as a red flag, but in comparison to the guys I dated before, where it's like, oh no, a big scary homeless man to me and protect me. It's like, it's like eventually you kind of want to be the one protected, and so it's like, I like the men with muscles. I like the men who can do push-ups and go over like 10, 15 push-ups as like foreplay. That's fucking hot to me. I like the men. I like the men who are a little bit more organized in their lives and dedicated, like me and Morgan when we dated. Like, I'm pretty sure he has autism as well as some other shit. High chance of autism. But either way, he was always like, I need to keep my place clean and neutral scented, and I'm gonna organize all of my thousands of books by genre, by color, by time collected, and all this, and that. And I found that attractive. With that Alex guy I dated, I was like, he's very cute and handsome, but I like that he wakes up at like 8 a.m. on the dot and then instantly gets dressed in some nice clean clothes. He takes his fucking pills and his vitamins, brushes his teeth, makes his bed, and then instantly came out like, hey, good morning, how are you doing? It's like, damn, nigga, you seem like you have healthy brain cognitive functions. I like that. That's attractive. And then this other guy, Michael, I forgot his name, but curse his name. I remember that I also kind of have a thing for when men are like mild mannered in the streets, but then like have a little bit of an edge underneath them that they don't tell other people about. Like, for example, with Michael, I remember that, he showed up just like, hi, I'm Michael. I have a good job in liquor sales and I'm totally innocent, this, and that. But then when we actually had our date progress, like, he rolled up his sleeves and then suddenly he wasn't just giving like fucking New Force jacket, puffer coat, like shitty little sweater, like nice boy energy. Like he rolled up his sleeves and you just saw like all of the fucking tattoos he had on his forearms. And I hate that it turns me on, but the context was him discussing like that he used to get into a lot of fights growing up and that he was very used to like fighting, especially if it was over a girl that he wanted to protect or defend. And I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, how many fights? So like, how many fights have you like won and lost?" And he just kind of sexily, as he was rolling up his forearms to his fucking uh, not ankle. What's this called? Elbow. He was rolling up his forearms to his elbows and showing off those fucking tats, and he just looks at me confidently like, when? Always. The fuck? And he just says that so confidently. And I just kind of was like, okay, that's kind of hot. But then again, I'm pretty sure every man would tell a girl that he's won every single. Like, men aren't going to be like, I've lost a few fights. Sadly, they're egos. I don't think a man would do that to a girl he's trying to impress. And I don't know. I don't personally like tattoos on myself, but I do think tattoos are hot, fucking cool and hot. Even if they're stupid. Even the stupid tattoos. Morgan had a tattoo of a fucking ugly ass bumblebee on his chest. It was the shittiest little stick and poke you could imagine. But it still made him really, really attractive. Like, he's already an attractive dude, I'm just saying. But the little fucking bat wings he had on his torso, those were fucking sexy. It showed off his very nice, muscly body very well. I like men who are gentle with me and know how to communicate, and I like men who can be vulnerable with their emotions and stuff. And also, if you're wondering, hey, Tamia, does this list is not unrealistic so far. Funny enough, if you are watching this video and you're like, good luck getting a guy like all of you want a soft-spoken, well-mannered guy who also is willing to absolutely fucking mangle a man for you and is totally muscular and fit and emotionally healthy and perfect in every single way. Like, if you're like, ooh, that's not possible, I'll put it to you like this way. It doesn't matter if it is or it isn't, because I'll meet that guy regardless. They exist. And then number two, if it is like something that's really fucking far out and hard to reach, consider it a blessing for someone like me, because I'm trying to decenter men from my life so I can focus on important things like making mead, or enjoying my succulents, or having hobbies. I'm trying to actually make sure my life flourishes. Uh, like, yeah, simply put, I'm trying to focus on like flourishing in all the departments of my life and not having a man be like the end all. Like, I've been waking up lately and it's just been like, instead of it being like, oh, I hope that guy I'm obsessed with finally messages me back and doesn't take 12 hours to message me back. Ooh, I hope that this one guy I hate, this one guy I love, this da da da. Instead of thinking that, I have just been waking up like, oh, okay, what's next? I feel empty, but like content. And then I'll just like watch a little video or like take a stroll outside and enjoy myself. And that is my overall general goal, to be happy with myself. And if I do have someone in my life, are they going to be someone where if I'm in danger, are they going to help me? If I'm struggling, is their instinct to help me as much as they can? Like, yeah, it's like, do I want to do like my lame ass bitch ass ex Jared, where it's like, oh, hey, well, if we can't agree on a wing flavor, then I'm just not gonna pay the $5 to get the wings. It's like, nigga, if you were fine not eating the wings, then pay the $5 and get me the wings because I asked nicely and it's only $5. Like, that was, and just like, do I want to date someone who's gonna embarrass me by just being like, to me is crying and crashing out and her life quality is super, super shit because she's struggling with her job not paying her correctly. You know what I should do? I should like give $3,000 to a deep fake of Angel Young's because clearly the scam that says hot porn stars down to fuck in my area is truly, truly real. Do I want to get embarrassed like that, or would I rather the dude who hears about my finances and is like, oh shit, let me hook you up with these employment lawyers I know who can help you out because you deserve it? Like, that's really, really fucking nice. Like, do I want the dude who, like, is like, oh my god, you're gonna get the $6 drink? The $6 drink for a healthy probiotic drink? Or do I want the nigga who's gonna be like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, get an extra egg, get some extra meat while you're at it. Here, I'm ordering like even more skewers for the table. Hell yeah. You say you're not hungry? Well, guess what? I'm getting more food anyway. I like those types. I like men who like me. I like men that are dedicated towards me, ask questions about me, show general interest. It's like if I say I haven't eaten lunch, you're cash shopping me money to get me lunch. Or at the very least, like if I say I'm feeling ill, you're giving me health advice. Like, ooh, baby, you should take a nap and drink some salt water. I heard that helps. If one of your family members is acting out of line towards me, you're checking them. You're not trying to check me for being hurt. You're checking them. If your friends are disrespectful towards me, you're checking your friends, not me. I want someone where I don't lack anything at all. I have no sort of lack whatsoever with them. I want someone that is motivated by me. Some of the most attractive people I dated were the ones where it's like, I see a future with timidity. So you know what? I'm gonna get like a nice job. So like a part-time job to start so I can like focus less on my depression and also focus more on like the outings I want to have with her. Oh, I actually really, really like her. And you know what? I really actually do like the idea of us like getting romantically involved and like starting a family. You know what? I need to get more money. I'm gonna work as a gardener because I know that she wants a big nice garden one day and a nice big house. And I can make a lot of money in 50 an hour if I work for this specific national park as a gardener. And if that works out, I can easily afford like a very nice house in this area. And she can have that big garden she wants. That's what Morgan was willing to do for me, and I appreciate that. But let's not give him too much credit because we all know what he did last winter, and if you knew the type of shit he had done recently, you'd want to kill him. And then going on, it's like, yeah, I remember with Jared, like, he was a lame ass, pussy ass bitch, but he was very good at the whole, oh, look, like, Tamia says she doesn't drink, and I care about her health because, like, last time she drank with me, she had issues that lasted for 3 days. So, you know what? I'm not gonna cause her any. I'm not even gonna drink around her. And then he started actually working on being more sober, so that me and him could have hangouts, and like he wouldn't be acting an ass or making me uncomfortable with his reckless alcoholism. And then he was like, ah, shit, I really do want like a future with Timothy. She would be like, I remember once we were having sex in the back of his car, and he had never gotten a blowjob from me. But let's just say 5 seconds in, he was like, "Holy fucking shit! Yeah, I'm gonna marry. You're gonna get married." And and I blushed and I said, "Oh, thank you," with my mouth full. And but and he was like, "No, I fucking mean it." And then the more we started talking and shit, and also having sex, like I guess in his head he was like, "This chick's fucking perfect. Like her body's perfect. We get along like absolutely well. She's like my best fucking friend. I've told her shit I haven't told anyone in my life before. She gives good advice. She's smart as fuck. She's hot as fuck. She's very intelligent. She's pretty damn funny too." Like, I never have had a bad time with this woman, and I adore her, and this sex is fucking amazing. Holy shit. And then I guess during sex, he was like, as I was riding him, he was envisioning all the different ways that, like, all the steps it would take for us to like move in together and actually like for me to meet his child and stuff. And he got to a point where he got so lost in his thoughts, and I almost made him nut during riding, that he just was like, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. He was drenched in sweat. He tossed me off to the side real quick, gently though. And then he was breathing hard as fuck, and he said, do you have a credit score? I said, what? He was like, do you have a credit score? I said, no. He was like, well, here's how you get one. And yeah, now I have a credit score thanks to him because he showed me how to get one. Shout out to Experian. Hell yeah. I'm washing my hair today. Don't worry. I've just been picking at it a lot. Also, I'm pretty sure a bunch of this is just pillow fuzz because my pillow's all fuzzy, but whatever. And yeah, I want someone where they're so healthy that I am motivated to be good for them, and vice versa, because and where it doesn't just trail off after some point. I hate the comfortable stage, because then it like, because I always keep trying, because it'll be like, no matter how long I get to know someone, this or that, or how much I like them, it's like I'm gonna still make sure my makeup is always done and my hair always looks good and my clothes are always perfectly color coordinated and picked out for each event awesomely, because I'm always going to try. I'm always going to try to be a sweet communicator who's extremely understanding and thoughtful and dedicated and puts in effort. And I want someone who is like that for me. I want someone who is just as intentional, just as thoughtful, just as caring. Because I deserve care. And I deserve the love I give to others. I had to have a conversation with myself where eventually I just kind of cried in my kitchen and I was like, why are you trying to give love to all these people who don't even appreciate and deserve it? Like, why aren't you just loving me in that same way? Don't I deserve it? Do you think that I'm unlovable? And then I kind of cried even more. And if you're like, how do you, what you mean, what do you mean you cried even more? You already crying. It's a long story. I'll make a video about that some other day. As of now, I'm not going to tell you certain things about myself. You'll figure them out later if you haven't already. But either way, it did break my heart. I was like, oh shit, she's right. I'm right. I do need to love myself in the same way I give to others. Because why was I letting myself be involved with the drama and like being other people's therapist and shit and barely getting anything out of it? Like, it's like, okay, I'm letting these people vent about their life just for them to still make decisions that fuck them up. And just for them to still like treat people who have done them dirty worse than how they treat me, the person who actually cares about them and is intentionally trying to be good for them. And yeah, I just kind of, it's like, it's good to be selfish sometimes. Funny enough, I've been trying that recently. I have just kind of been telling myself, I'm a gold digging whore who's insane. I'm gonna just start telling people that, because maybe it'll repel them from me if they just kind of recognize that they should not be with me whatsoever. And you know what fucking happens instead? These people have been like, I have money and a good job and I'd like to get to know you regardless. It's like, fuck, dude. But still, regardless, even the ones who have been talking to me lately, they've been unimpressive. Because, I've been doing pretty good the whole self care, self love thing. I've actually been taking really good care of myself, making myself like spinach omelets, taking my vitamins, drinking tea, going on walks, taking care of this thing and that thing because I care about my quality of life and resting when I need to and not trying to burn myself out. And then meanwhile, this one guy who I'm talking to, lead singer of a metal band with let's just say, he's shown me enough red flags about him where I'm like, okay, you're not someone worth getting attached to seriously. And then he also has not asked me that many questions about myself, and that it's like, hey, if someone actually really wanted to get to know me and wasn't just lustful, they would do a lot. They would be dedicated in their pursuit of trying to know anything they could about me. They would not be trying to just endlessly talk about themselves and like send me memes and compliments and hope that the love bombing makes up for a connection that does not exist, you know? And yeah, he's just not, yeah. Like, he is still being thoughtful. He's still cash apping me for lunches and stuff. That's sweet. But let's just say I'm not very impressed and we don't have much in common. So it's like, instead of focusing on you, because you're kind of boring, it's like there's no other word other than, yeah, you're just fucking boring and unintentional, or you want me to think that you want to date me, but he's got, just simply put, it's like, yeah, no offense, I'd rather just like focus on cool stuff like increasing my gemstone collection, or like working on like moisturizing my hair and growing it out, or like plants and stuff. So yeah, that's how I feel. I'm getting closer to like knowing what I want every day, and I guess I'm grateful for some of my experiences, good and bad, because they've shown me what I absolutely do admire in a person and what I absolutely cannot stand for anymore. Like, just nah. I want someone who is genuine about their love for me, and if I can't have that, then I'll be genuine about the love towards myself because I deserve that the most. Alright, peace out.